The compositional Higgs process must be applied so that the emitted bosons of the decay products of the T-quark will be consistent with the standard model. For example, the intrinsic spin of this boson 0 is 0 when it should be minus 1. And the intrinsic spin, not the intrinsic spin, but the weak charge of this W plus is 1/2 when it should be 1. Likewise, this Z boson has a isospin weak charge of minus 1/2 when it should be minus 1. It's necessary when these bosons are combined with quarks and leptons to make the higher generation particles that they be scalar, but on emission should change to the appropriate quanta for bosons in the standard model. So first, let's take a look at the spin. If we apply the Higgs process, we can change the spin of this alternating rishon from 1/2 to minus 1/2, giving the Z boson now the appropriate intrinsic spin of minus 1. But the change of this spin from 1/2 to minus 1/2 will require the production of a photon, which we see here, which will have a intrinsic spin of 1. And so the intrinsic spin of 1 on this produced photon will then counter the intrinsic spin on the Z boson of minus 1, giving us a consistent intrinsic spin total of 0. Now, let's look at the weak isospin. The weak isospin on this W plus particle, as said before, is 1/2 when it should be 1. So, applying the compositional Higgs process, we can change that weak isospin to 1. But then this will require the production of a Higgs boson. Now this change will also change the weak isospin on this Z boson to 0 as required by the standard model. And so we have the production of this Higgs boson here, which will now have a weak isospin as required by the standard model of minus 1/2. And now, with that application of the compositional Higgs process, the emitted bosons have all the required quanta of the standard model. The W boson and the Z bosons have the appropriate weak charges of +1 and 0, with the production of a Higgs boson that has a -1 weak charge. And as seen previously, the Z boson here, which did have a scalar intrinsic spin, now has a intrinsic spin of -1 as required by the standard model, with the production of a photon which is spin 1. And so there we have all emitted bosons having the appropriate quanta associated with the standard model.